Yesterday, we dealt with the biblical question of last week, and that was, what should a woman want? What should she want? And as I explained yesterday, that a woman should only want the kingdom of heaven in his right way. There's nothing wrong with a woman wanting a husband, but that should be way down on the list. Way down on the list. Just as men, human beings, period, should seek the kingdom of God and his right way, and then all will be added. It will be added. And when people, places, and things are added to your life without you wanting it, you don't need it, you can take it or leave it, then you're not controlled. You won't be controlled by the world. You won't be in a marriage, ladies, with weak men that cannot lead you or be that example where you can see the right way to go. You'll be guided by what is right from within you. Most marriages, if not all, most, if not all, are not working because men and women are trying to get something from each other. They're trying to get what they call love or something, a feeling or some type of fake identity. And when they're dating and engaged, they pretend that it's real. A lot of them don't last even through that, though. But once they get married, they see that it wasn't real, but they don't realize, you know what, I was trying to get something from my husband or my wife. I was trying to get love. I was trying to get this or that. And human beings do not have love to give. Men don't have love to give because the love that they're supposed to live by is not from them, but it's the nature of God that made a home in them. Once they return to the Father, but most men never will, and doesn't return to the Father, they stay in that fallen state of the spirit of the mama that's in them, which came through her from evil. It's an evil spirit of the devil, right? So most men don't even overcome, and that's why our society is so bad, because the men are so weak. There's no difference now between the men and the women. They think alike, they act alike, they're jealous and envy and strife and revengeful, and gossip. They do just what women do nowadays, and there's no correction. And so, ladies, you're not going to be able to, you shouldn't be seeking a man anyway, or anything outwardly. You're not going to be able to find it. It never will work. As it won't for men. Men seeking something outside, it ain't going to work outside of them. So the ladies should seek the kingdom of God in his right way. Same thing that we're telling the men. You got to go and forgive. Forgive your mothers for turning you away from your fathers, impose her will, whatever she did, or playing victim as though she's a victim when she's really a victimizer, and you identify with it, same as the boys do when they're with the mother. So, because a lot of these people that I counsel with, marriages and things like that, dating, is not working because you're trying to make a human being give you something that they don't have to give. But if you didn't need it and you got together, the marriage will last until death do you part. Because you can either take the man or leave him. If he stays, fine. If he leaves, fine. If he's overcome, fine. If he's not, fine. You'll be fine. But you got to seek for yourself. We are not in control of anything. Men or women are not in control. So, ladies, if you were not there or you didn't get a chance to catch your fellowship yesterday, you can podcast. All right? Podcast. You got to get serious, ladies, and start seeking the kingdom for yourself. Because a lot of Christian women say, well, I'll follow my man, my husband, as long as he does the right thing. You don't know what right is. So how do you know if you're doing the right thing or not? If you don't know what right and wrong is. No human being know what right and wrong is. That's why you're supposed to live in the present so you can see it in the present. Only God can reveal right from wrong, and we'll know what it is. Don't think you can just read the Bible or read this book or that book, and that book is telling you what's right or wrong, and then you try to live it. It doesn't work. You have to live in the present in order for it to work. Our battle is seriously a spiritual battle, and it's happening inside of you. It begins with you and ends with you. It's happening inside of you. And it's happening outside of you, inside of others. The same thing you're dealing with is what they're dealing with too. Even people who, in relationships or workships or whatever kind of ship, they try to hurt you, they try to destroy you because they are unhappy and they are being controlled by evil, telling them, oh, hurt your wife or hurt your husband, hurt your children, do this or do that, and you'll feel better, and it never works. They don't get happy from that. It's a fake happiness, but it only lasts a minute. Then they got to try to hurt somebody else, or if you responded to it, hurt you more. There is no love in the world, so I would highly recommend that you really, really get to know yourself. Pay attention to you. Pay attention to you. And you're going to start, if you stay with it and stay with it and stay with it and never deter from it, you're going to see that all thoughts are all lies all the time. And that since you've been on earth, nothing has ever happened to you. Nothing. It's just that you believe thoughts and feelings and you thought it was happening to you and you overreacted. And you start to claim that it happened to you because you've identified with the wrong spirit. You have identified with the spirit of the devil and not of God. You are not the thoughts and feelings. So, ladies, you must, if you want to be free, you don't have to. You could stay in your hell. You can stay in your mess. You can stay in your misery. You can stay in your false fear and false happiness. You can totally stay there and live that way until you drop your body. God's not going to force you. I'm not going to force you. Can't no one force you to change. It's really up to you. You can continue to try to find it in somebody else. You're not going to find it. And if you saw it in another person, because there are a few people out there seeking, if you saw it in another person, it's not going to change you. You'll just see that this person has changed. So podcast yesterday, it was amazing. I highly suggest you be still and know God, because the world, the country, is going to get worse. There's no sign of turnaround at all, but you can live in it, but not of it. You can have peace in the midst of the darkness that's happening through others outside of you. All right, it's up to you.